What's going on? How are you guys today? I am a sweaty mess because I just worked out and I've been a little bit of a rush today. But how are you guys today? What's going on? This is the first live stream on the new channel that will be where all the live streams are from now on. For those of you guys that didn't tune in to the last live stream on the other channel last week, there were some issues with the algorithm, and apparently if I'm going to do this many live streams in a week, I should be doing them on a separate channel exclusively. So I've let all of you guys know where to find me now. So, and it'll be a lot more organized. So if you go on the main channel, it's not going to be cluttered with all these different live streams. And if you go on the new channel, this channel, it's going to be only live streams. So you guys will have a nice concise list of all the live streams. Sending Snapchats to New York City girls right now. They're ignoring all my Snapchats. Seems like a good place to be for when we're heading for a mass surveillance police state. Alaska. Yeah, I mean, Alaska seems like a pretty good spot to be. Lives were messing up the algorithm. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll find out. The whole scenario didn't make sense because, the amount of content I was putting out on the channel and the amount of consistent uploads every day for over 2 years, and the channel isn't growing as much as like some of these vegans that post one video a week. Hey, Boston, from Boston, what's going on? How are you guys? Yeah, hopefully, guys, you're doing okay. All cooped up today. I know most people are cooped up inside. They're saying, "Where's the beef?" What are you talking about? Who's saying, "Where's the beef?" Like your shirts and daytime clips? What, the button downs? Guy on Twitter that was forced to get tested. I tweeted you on it. I've been looking at Twitter a little bit. I've been trying to keep up with everything. A lot of people have been sending me stuff, and it's mostly been related to the Wi-Fi rollouts. Yeah, I would say like 90% of the stuff people are sending me is the Wi-Fi related stuff. So I'm not really sure if people are aware of anything else that's going on, but we'll have to see.
I get heart palpitations after consuming raw dairy but have no other issues with it. Should I stop consuming it or what?
Yeah, I mean that could be a reaction to the retinol or the calcium, or it could also be an allergic reaction. Yeah, I mean if you're getting heart palpitations after eating the dairy, obviously don't eat it. Definitely avoid it for a while, and I would watch my nutrient synergy video. Hi from UK. Hey Holly, what's going on? How are you? Here in Canada, scientists are opposing the Wi-Fi, telling the government how bad it is. Did you see the train derailment? I don't think I saw the train derailment. Train derailment. Engineer deliberately ran train off tracks in attempt to smash the USNS Mercy. Nearby, what? Attempt to smash the ship. An engineer deliberately ran a train off the tracks at high speed.
Bizarre train derailment
near the port of Los Angeles in an attempt to crash into the hospital ship. He's suspicious, and he said he thought it was suspicious and did not believe the ship is what they say it's for. That's pretty wild. I guess someone was, I mean, people are waking up to fishy stuff going on. But we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. My mom went to my little brother's closed school to pick up his computer. They were literally tearing the walls down and installing Wi-Fi, and she still doesn't believe what they're doing. It's ridiculous. You could literally install and do this in front of people's faces. They're gonna cook children like microwaves. I have a nurse friend that's even posting about the dangers of Wi-Fi. Well, the problem is the people that control the media, and they have a lot of hired people that are going to speak out against the people that are actively speaking out against and telling that people that it's all conspiracy stuff. Can you add a copper supplement to your site? I'm working on it. I mean, obviously everything's at a kind of a standstill right now with all the Toyota Corolla stuff going on. BRB going to go tear down a Wi-Fi tower? Yeah, a lot of this doesn't make sense that the towers are still going up. Why don't you have clothing to protect against the Wi-Fi? I mean, there's a bunch of different types of fields, and hopefully I can move to a house soon that's going to be kind of safe from all the stuff, but there's only so much you could do. You know, I live with people that use their cell phones and stuff. It's ridiculous. Unless I live by myself in the middle of nowhere, I'm not going to be able to remove things. What type of water should I be drinking? Should I purchase a certain brand of bottled water, glass bottles? I have several videos on water that pretty much go over everything. I would just search water on my channel and watch the most recent water video. They're trying to disguise the cell towers as trees. I mean, it's pretty obvious they're not trees, but that's what they're doing. Look up the Internet of Things. They want Wi-Fi on every household object, even toilets. They're going to blast people to basically, if you have that much Wi-Fi infrastructure, you can literally control people to the point where they can't think for themselves. They're trying. Are the towers making us sick, or is it the Corolla? There are certainly areas of the world where Wi-Fi has been installed at higher amounts for long periods of time where people are getting sick from the Wi-Fi. But I think that the infrastructure they're setting up now is going to trigger the true event 6 months from now. I think they're going to kind of let it disappear, and then it's going to come back in full force when they turn the towers on, or when people are finally getting, you know, after people get blasted for 3, 4, 5 months by these new Wi-Fi towers, people are going to get very, very, very sick. And the scary part about it is they're going to blame it on the Toyota Corolla, and no one's going to realize it. And they're just going to start killing people. I continue to tell my dad to ditch his AirPods, but he's convinced that they don't do him any harm because he read it in a mainstream media article. These boomers just don't listen. The worst part about all of it is it's how blatantly obvious from a special interest standpoint who's telling the truth. If I tell my father something's dangerous for him, there's no gain for me besides his health. If I tell my father to keep his phone on airplane mode and check it every 30 minutes, I don't benefit from doing that. Like, I'm actually revealing information that I could keep to myself. Him reading a mainstream news article that's telling him, oh, no, it's fine. The mainstream news article is making a ton of money off the product, off of destroying your health, off of keeping you controlled. If you look at what do they call it? The opposing media, the alternative media. If you look at the alternative opinion, there's no money in it for them. You know, these people that are anti-VACC, VAX, whatever you want to say, anti-injection, these people that are going against what the mainstream narrative is saying, they're not benefiting from it. No, they're not selling you a product. They're not coming up to you and saying, oh, no, those AirPods are bad for you. Buy my headphones instead. Of course, there are alternatives that you have to invest money in to fix things, but it's ridiculous that but that's what it is. That's why the CIA created the term conspiracy back in the 70s or whatever it was, because you just get labeled as a conspiracy theorist. If you Google any conspiracy theory, the first 10, 15, 20 articles and anything you can find on Google is just it being debunked by mainstream authority scientists. It's absolutely comical, and people fall into it. Oh, well, I read the article. They said it's safe. Okay, keep blasting your brain. I don't care. That's what I have to say. I think suddenly this thing we're going through will have a solution after they finish installing all the new Wi-Fi. Yeah, I think they're gonna have all the Wi-Fi up and installed. They had an excuse to get people out, but what we have to do is we have to make people aware of what it really is. We have to make flyers that say, "Are you getting headaches? Are you suffering from insomnia? Can you not sleep? Are you having health issues suddenly? These are the side effects of Wi-Fi. Have you had any towers installed?" And same thing with the children. Are your children coming home with stomach aches and headaches? Are your children complaining they feel unwell at schools? Make flyers, hand them out to your community, and let's take these fucking towers down. Trump literally, look, Trump banned Palm Springs. Look at this shit. I'll show you guys. This is in 2017. Palm Beach exempt from Wi-Fi wireless law. That's where all the billionaires live. That's where Trump lives. The new law would be an aesthetic disaster. because it would look bad, because the towers would look bad, you can't put the towers in our billionaire, where the billionaires are living. So it's comical. They will literally pass legislation to protect themselves while everyone else is getting microwaved like a fucking chicken. If you buy your supplements from Europe or the UK, will it get past customs because it costs quite a bit of money? Some of my packages are getting held right now. I think it's related to the VIRUS, though. How do you detox aluminum from... I don't know what Gardasil is. Yeah, I mean, these people are completely evil. Thoughts on Vaseline for dry lips? I mean, there's better alternatives for dry lips. It just doesn't matter. Every single corner you turn, every single, like, what is it? Every stone unturned. I don't know. Whatever analogy you want to use, everywhere you look, there's blatant evidence that this is all set up and it's all ridiculous. You know, I could list things for 2 hours straight of things that don't add up. None of it adds up. The hospitals are empty. All of these people were like these scientists and experts predicted a pandemic will happen 3 years ago. What? It's because they knew it was going to happen because they're part of it. They're predictive. The word here is predictive programming. They're getting you used to expecting it to happen, so you accept it. And the reason that they need you to expect it to happen and live with it is because the law of attraction stuff. What you believe will there's some truth to that actually happening. If they get you to, by predictive programming you to get you to believe it's going to happen, you're going to have a higher inclination to believe it's true and adhere and obey to everything that's going on. You know, look at all the documentaries on Netflix. Look at the movies. Look at all these like disaster movies and stuff. They're literally spelling out. They're telling you what's going to happen to you, and we have to oppose it. Were you serious when you said what kofifi means in your last video? I was wrong on what it means. Someone in the chat, someone in the comments explains what it actually meant. You're way out there. I mean, what do you mean way out there? Every single thing, there's no, it's not out there if it's literally what's happening. If I see 5 new towers on the way down to work in 1 week, like they're throwing up towers like it's nobody's business. Self-fulfilling prophecy? Yeah. Is there a job to prepare for such events? There have always been pandemics just like earthquakes. Are you stupid? It's like it's comical. It's comical how, like, there's 2 aspects to this. 1, the scumbags that defend this. 2, the people that are so stupid and idiotic, they become useful idiots and they want to defend themselves being locked in their homes. They want to believe that it's true so they're not locked in their homes like a little pussy for no reason. But I hate to break it to you, if you're locked in your home and you believe in this shit, you are a little cuck bitch. For lack of better terminology. Bill Gates is such an evil piece of shit. Yeah, that's an understatement. Get confused about what cuts of beef and bison to purchase. Leaner cuts eat the whole animal. How do you personally decide which cuts to purchase each trip to the grocery store or farm? I usually get whatever the most affordable and the cheapest. They didn't, guys, these people aren't predicting what's happening. They're part of the agenda. They know what's going to happen, and they're programming you to believe it's going to happen. No one predicts things. What is the logic in predicting something like that's going to happen? What is the logic? If we limit our exposure to Wi-Fi from painting our house and blocking curtains up, will that help at all? You can block it. Yeah, you can block the Wi-Fi, but the paint's expensive, and so are the curtains. It's probably too much money for most people. I'm locked up, but I tell everyone it's a hoax. The Corolla won't go away until everyone gets injected. I hate to break it to you guys, but you guys don't understand how many people will resist getting if they try to roll out any mandatory injections, there's going to be like probably 10, 20 million people that won't do it. So the plan says they canceled school for the rest of the year on my sister's senior year. Whole Food workers are walking out, sick out. I mean, Whole Foods has so many workers. I read that article. They were apparently unaffected, and I believe that because every Whole Foods I've been in, there's like they literally have like 3 times as many workers as they need to. People are so stupid. I tell my friends and family that the virus is fake and the government wants us scared, but they still want to lock themselves inside to stay away from a fake virus. It's kind of stupid. My brother, who works for government, has he supposedly has this secret clearance, and it's like I'm like, dude, are you joking? You're 27 years old. Like they fucking told you anything secret. Like he's been working for a company for like 2 years, and he thinks he has secret clearance. I think it's fucking hysterical. As if they're not, like the only people who have access to like this high level information are probably like 60, 70, 80-year-old dudes that have been around for a long time. Schools in Michigan are now closed for the rest of the year. Will wrapping tinfoil around my head stop the radiation? Well, enough tinfoil. Hate to obey, but have reason to. They will snitch or arrest on whatever the fuck. So I'm just playing along. The biggest issue out of all of this is you can't convince the majority of the population that this isn't real. Since you can't convince the majority of the population that this is real, if you go out and resist this, you're gonna look like the bad guy. If you go out and start attacking police officers and people that are going along with the agenda, you're going to be looked at as a crazy person that wants to hurt people because, oh, there's a dangerous virus by staying. And what's funniest is these cuck soy boys that are like, I'm at home making people safe, and you're all outside having fun. Ha! It's fucking hysterical. These people are seething at the mouth like a bunch of pussies. I'm in a stock investing group, and someone asked if they would get the VACCINE, and 80% said no. It's not even an anti-group. Yeah. Is Italy an early Wi-Fi adapter? Yeah, Italy had a lot of towers, but it's hard to... Are the symptoms from Wi-Fi low-level radiation poisoning the same as the flu? Yes. But we don't know specifically. We do know that Russia, where they don't have these towers, there's like no cases. People are claiming that Canada hasn't had Wi-Fi and there's still cases there, but it's hard to say. I don't know. I'm not sure if every single place that is claiming they have large amounts of Wi-Fi is we don't know what type of weaponry is installed. It's hard to say, but we do know that the places where there is the most cases is where there's a lot of these 5 Wi-Fi towers already installed. If you guys do want to support the stream or have your question answered, you can donate through the Streamlabs link that is in the description below. Down here in Mexico, shit is getting real. In the movie They Live, the more you try to convince people, the more they fight you. That's really true. I keep saying this quote. It's easier to fool someone than convince them they've been fooled. Where do I start? How do I educate my loved ones? They just call me a conspiracy theorist. First, ask them if they know who made up the term conspiracy theory. And the term conspiracy theory was made up by the CIA in like the 70s, I believe. So just the term was made up by the government that doesn't want any of those things going on. And then there's a hashtag going on Twitter, hashtag film your hospitals. You can tell people like, okay, if I'm a conspiracy theorist, why did all the bankers and billionaires cash out weeks to months before this happened? Why did they know that the stock market was going to crash? Why did scumbag Fauci say 3 years ago that there was going to be a pandemic, that there was going to be an issue? Why did they run literally a test run of the Toyota Corolla? What was it called? The Bill and Melinda Foundation? They ran a test run of this pandemic. They did a test run of it like 4 or 5 months ago. They did all of these things. You could, every corner you turn, there's so much nonsense bullshit. While you're at home locked up, there's cable companies working overtime to install these Wi-Fi towers. You're going to tell me with there's dozens of factors of things that don't add up, they're passing the Earn It Act in Congress. They're passing all of these acts to take away more of our rights. Like, how can you not wake up to this? They took away all your jobs. They're turning America into like a slave nation. Everyone's going to be poor and not work. It's ridiculous. How much do you have to explain to people? Some of these people literally will only be convinced if the modern media tells them they've been lying. But like, would that ever happen? It's ridiculous. A classified spot said China lied about numbers. It's controlled opposition. They're lying to make it seem like China was trying to hide numbers, but to paint it as a larger issue. It's all being covered up as entire economies depend on low numbers. It's not being covered up. So for all the top countries that are affected, including us, have recently been in touch with China. That's not necessarily true. Blaming it on China is incorrect. Religious text says the ones who are destined to disbelieve, no matter what you say, their hearts and eyes are sealed, and they call you fools when they really are the ones. Do you think there'll still be a new global economic system after all of this? We'll have to see what happens. I saw a mayor from Italy saying that everyone needs to stay at home. People are going outside again because they're done with this shit. Good. I hope they go outside. That's why they have the WHO. You know what's funny about the WHO? I'm sure some of you in the chat know about this. Do you know what the logo of this symbolizes? Do you know what this logo means? If you knew what this logo meant, you wouldn't be trusting people. Let's see if people in the chat knows what this means. The serpent wrapped around the stick and then the land behind it. Does anyone in the chat know what this symbol means? Does anyone know? It's painted right in front of your face, buddy. It's kind of funny. You trust these government authorities that you don't even realize what they're doing on their logo. Where they have the eagle. Yeah, they have the eagle. The eagle represents the phoenix, and the United States of America, the eagle represents I don't know what these labels are, but let me see if I get a higher resolution. The beast, one world government, the sign of. Does anyone know in the chat? The snake is the physician symbol? No, the snake, it means deception. Let me look. Let me see if I can find the source on that. Yeah, Jimmy Wilson in the chat said deception. I have to find the source of the mythology that explains what it means, but it means deception. So it is on the dollar bill. I don't really want to talk about the symbolism on the dollar bill, but the point is the phoenix, the eagle on the dollar bill is actually representing a phoenix. And on the CDC logo, you have a phoenix. And those of you guys that know what a phoenix is in mythology, they're reborn. Phoenixes burn to ashes, and they're reborn every 100 years. So if you were going to have an organization that represents a phoenix, isn't that kind of creepy? A representation that means the burning and rebirth of a civilization every few hundred years. Why would a disease control center have that type of logo that represents something like that? Are they preventing it, or are they controlling it and making it work for them to enact their sick prophecies? So the serpent is the point is the serpent means deception. It's called the rod of Asclepius. Catherine, do you know what it means? Rod of Asclepius. Well, that's not well. The Google definition isn't. That's not true. What is the do we have a? Do you guys have a source on the Egyptian mythology stuff? Uh, that's not what. It's not. It's not Greek. It's not. It's not supposed to be Greek. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if there's a source of Google on this. I was also confused with the stuff again. Hermes, the Romans god referred to. All right. Well, maybe someone in the chat has a source on this. The snake is from Adam, and the apple. No, that's not what it is. Someone's probably gonna message me after the. Someone's gonna message me after the live stream. Be careful talking about symbols. Yeah, I probably shouldn't. But I mean, what's the point? Like the fact that I have to explain this to people is already not good. The people are really into symbolism. Well, same with the numeric stuff. They're throwing the look at this. 33 million people. China lockdown spreads to 33 million. Alabama's massive disaster scores to 33 million. Nearly 3.3 million unemployment claims. 33. Donald Trump made 33 false claims about the Toyota Corolla. They sure like the number 33. Toyota Corolla in Massachusetts. 33. Is this a fucking joke? Unemployment spikes 33% amid. This is fucking funny. I think it's hysterical. China imposes travel restrictions on 33 million. 33. Those of you guys who don't know what 33 is, there's in the elite group of people, there's 33 rankings, and 33 is the highest ranking. Heard there a protest in Italy? Isn't that a Christian symbol? Quite the opposite. It's a flat Earth map. Symbols. You give the fools in government too much credit. None of them are smart enough to put any of this together. Well, they're doing it. Snakes always meant deception in mythology. Also, yeah, that someone said it in the chat. Snakes have always meant deception in mythology, also in most religions as well. It's like they like the logo for the Who is literally the logo is literally, it literally means deception, and then the picture in the back is a flat world. Like how much more obvious can it be? Why the hell? Like it's ridiculous that no one questions this type of stuff. All this stuff is wacko stuff. My runs the ventilators, only 6 people. Frank will spend the next 2 weeks rebanning people. I didn't really ban. The only people that have been banned on my channel are the ones that just say stupid stuff. Like, that just come to the channel to insult me. What does a snake have to do with health? Well, their symbolism. They put this symbolism in the news, in the media, and people are so stupid they don't even see it. How stupid do you have to be to not know the symbol for the... Too much credit given to... Yeah, I mean, the gaslighting isn't working for you guys. Alchemists, which started modern medicine, used the snake to represent the life energy. No, I mean, there's probably at least a few dozen people in the chat right now that are part of this group that are gaslighting. I mean, by no means are they high-ranking people. They're more like minions, but peons, whatever you may call them. These organizations are special interest funded. Bill Gates is a major funder of the World Health Organization. Yeah, it's always really suspicious. When warning people to not at least sleep with their mobile next to their head or put their phone on airplane mode, the answer is meh. Yeah, people are really, really stupid. I don't bother with people if they don't listen to me. Like usually when people come to me for consultations, they trust the information I've portrayed on my YouTube channel, and I don't have to prop up my knowledge with a bullshit medical degree or something. And I find it absolutely insane that doctors are using their medical credentials to sell nutrition, because they literally receive no nutritional training, and nothing in their medical training is really conducive to what's relevant in the context of a keto, paleo, or carnivore diet, unless they have a specialization in like endocrinology or most of these doctors don't. Diabetes, kidney functions, some of their specialties apply, but I mean, Ray Pete did an article the other day about how ventilators are dangerous. I mean, even I know off the top of my head that the body needs both oxygen and carbon dioxide, not just oxygen. Is colostrum worth it? I didn't notice any benefits from drinking colostrum. Serpent stick is biblical reference. Well, if you consider that these people probably wrote the Bible to fulfill their prophecies, I wouldn't trust the modern Bible to be what the Bible really is. Trevor, what do you think of that lawsuit? I was thinking about doing a video on that, but I probably can't say half the words on the channel. Maybe I'll do a live stream on it next week on this channel. You haven't received nutritional training. You call nutritionists done, but what do you speak in English, Barbara? Fauci is an evil ghoul. I think he's worse than that. You should make survival bushcraft videos. Dude, I live in New York. Like, how do you think? I don't know anything about survival bushcraft. I've seen people spraying Lysol into their straws. Did they just stick their straw in the Lysol bottle? Well, the same Bible exposes these people. Jesus spoke against these societies. Oh, I find it difficult to believe that. You have to interpret, take everything with a grain of salt. What lawsuit? There was a lawsuit filed relating to the stuff that was going on in so you know how like people talk about like celebrities and them abusing children and stuff. There was a lawsuit that was filed that is a legitimate case. United States District Court of California the world's people, victims of I didn't want to make a video on this because I don't know if I can say these words on like organ harvesting, human trafficking, um, against the Democrats, all these big social media companies, um, misuse of all this technology, endangering all the world's people. Um, so this is basically a lawsuit filed by someone against these companies for what they're doing, basically crimes against humanity. And this is a legitimate case. Um, this was confirmed to be a real case that was filed. I mean, I don't know who this guy is, and if this can go anywhere. I don't know what they're doing, but this is a pretty big deal. I mean, violate genocide convention. I don't know. Masking genocide with AI technology. Banning the weaponization of robotic. Yeah. Violation of the Nuremberg Code. Created bioengineering, nefarious xenobot technology mixed with stem cells, robotics, and African rubbing. Bring to life an alien artificial life that can mutate or be programmed to spread disease or kill off the world's citizens in numerous ways. Extracting all people's private biometrics for quantum superintelligence that endangers all human beings on 5G and 6G networks. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Threatening and endangering the lives of all the world's people with the misuse of artificial intelligence, biotechnology, negligent bioweapon tech transfer. Yeah, this is I mean, this is a real case, but I don't know what that means. Frank to shadow banned. Yeah, if I mean, the first live stream is definitely going to get me shadow banned. What do you think of everyone getting their $1,200 check? The $1,200 is check that everyone's getting is 4% of like 4% of the bailout money total. They spent most of their money bailing out the elites and stuff. I think it's a little suspicious that all of that stuff is in the lawsuit. So I don't. Well, the lawsuit's real. It was filed. It's just a question of if there's people behind it. It is a real case. It's on the system. So I had, well, so someone looked it up for me and they said it was in the system. It's a filed lawsuit. It's not fake. It's a nonsense lawsuit that will never go beyond people sharing it. I mean, that's what I kind of thought about it. $1,200 isn't even someone's rent. Are you doing a workout live stream this Saturday? Yeah, I want to. We'll have to see how many viewers I can get on this new channel. Everyone excited about $1,200? It's ridiculous. The only people excited about $1,200 are the ones that didn't have a job in the first place. Sounds like a bunch of right-wing nuts filed it. Well, I mean, what is in that lawsuit is what stuff that has happened. So it's a matter of can they prove it or not. Censorship has been lax on YouTube lately. I mean, my videos are still getting demonetized. I'm not sure. And there's a very popular circulating video on the Wi-Fi that keeps getting taken down by people. Keep the plebs happy. They increased unemployment to 900 per week. What the fuck? Why am I even? That's more than I make for my day job. 900 per week. Tons of small businesses will never recover. Yeah, I mean the small businesses. I think that's a pipe dream right now. I think all the businesses are gonna go. Yeah, I mean the one thing I can't get past is the Wi-Fi towers going up. That's something that's hard to really dismiss. The fact that while everyone's at home and when they close down the schools, people are people are uh what was I saying? When everyone's at home, these cable companies are installing the Wi-Fi towers in schools. It's very scary. It's hard to say what like it's hard to justify something like that. Like, okay, if nothing bad is going on, then why are they doing this when everyone is at home when they don't know about it? And why are parents not? I mean, are these parents being made aware of the dangers of this stuff? Like of the Wi-Fi and the signals? Are they alerting the parents that they're installing this new technology while their kids aren't there? Or are they doing it under their noses? Donating is on. You have to go to the streamlabs.com/Frank Tefano, and it'll read your donation on stream. The new channel doesn't have super chat enabled because I don't have enough subscribers yet. Global warming didn't work. Wi-Fi is the backup plan. Yeah, right. The death of the middle class. That's basically what it is. What's better for 5G, ribeye or New York strip? I don't think anyone can afford steaks right now. Verizon is everywhere today. It's absolutely scary how no one is questioning all of these cable companies putting up these towers like nobody's business. It's absolutely scary. I hope some whistleblowers come forward with the cable stuff. A lot of essential workers feel dissed by the government since the unemployed are making more. No, it's going to cause a lot of issues. Why do people in the carnivore groups in the history of civilization never mention the Mongols? They ate almost entirely dairy products and nose to tail and conquered the largest empire. Well, because the goal of the carnivore movement is to sell people estrogenic feedlot beef and crappy animal products and to disguise grain-fed beef as grass-fed beef. So why would they want people to consume dairy? They want everyone locked inside, fat and sick. They will even deliver alcohol and cigarettes to your door. Yep. Well, I was hoping I was hoping that I was going to be able to save up enough money with my businesses and be able to build like a little, get some land and build house and property on it. But I mean, it seems like the only thing to do now would try to be to get a pool of people to group together and have a community of people invest their money and build something somewhere. I don't know where it would be. Look up big orange spools everywhere. What's that about? In the US, have you noticed all the birds dying? Are people taking videos of the birds dying? Whistleblowers will not emerge with all the military in force. Booze and weed essential service in Canada, but gyms are closed. No, I mean, it's so obvious what's going on, and you know, and to get no these again, what I said earlier, the majority of the people will not wake up unless you literally like in their face tell them that like the media would have to say, oh, we made a few mistakes. That would never happen. You know, the media is never gonna put any sense of truth in it. People are going to be brainwashed about this just like they're brainwashed about the stuff that happened in September of 2001. And then they basically filed an act that turned every airport into turned the US into a police state. The Navy uses the new 5 grams mass die-offs of fish. There's been videos of birds dying in the UK. There's going to be a baby boom in 9 months. Well, that doesn't matter because the Wi-Fi is going to. There's not going to be a baby boom in 9 months, buddy. There's going to be a massive amount of miscarriages and defects. There's going to be massive amounts of issues with babies with the Wi-Fi signals. There are vultures that sit on the cell tower near our house, but not since after they've been working on it. No, the birds can tell that the animals can tell that it like displaces them. Well, no, me man, you need to supplement D3 separately. Trump's latest tweet. Okay, we'll check it out. We'll check out the tweet. We hit 3M hard today after seeing what they were doing with their masks. P act all the way. What does this mean with is this relating to the underground stuff that's going on? Is that what you guys mean? We hit 3M hard today after seeing what they were doing with their masks. P act all the way. Big surprise to many in government as to what they were doing. We have a big price to pay. We'll have a big price to pay. "30 days to slow the spread." This upcoming generation of children are going to have a ton of issues if they're born. That is, there's going to be a lot of miscarriages and deaths, and people are going to look for answers. I think people have to spread information that the Wi-Fi and these signals are causing the deaths. It's not genetics. There's an article I read from an independent journalist, German journalist, who reported on Wi-Fi signals being tested over Italy 2 months ago. Discovered people getting caught posting fake CV deaths on Twitter today with fake pics and everything. Yeah, is anyone reporting on all this fake stuff that's going on? There's a lot of fake Reddit posts as well. There's fake posts on Reddit and Facebook and Twitter that are getting mass upvoted by people. It's absolutely despicable. It's all connected. Digital currency, economic collapse, 5 grams, VACCINE, ID 2020, Eventura 1, Neuralink, Starlink. Explosion disinfo, Google being uncensored. Genetics is a scapegoat. No, that's exactly what it is. When people don't want to, when they don't want to explain that something in the modern world has caused something, if something that doesn't make them money, it's blamed on genetics. If it's a nutrient deficiency, the reason your child's autistic, oh well, it was genetics, we couldn't prevent it. If you had a miscarriage, they don't want you to know that you need to eat healthier and get away from the Wi-Fi. They just want you to keep paying doctors for fertility treatments. The Abby Sharp shit is a great example. The last video I did on Abby Sharp was basically showing how she's following a nutrient deficient diet, how she's blasting her baby and herself with Wi-Fi, how her fertility treatments, the ridiculousness of them. How would Wi-Fi be causing people to have lung complications? Because the Wi-Fi affects all cellular function, and I think at certain frequencies it affects the oxygen molecules. So you literally can't breathe the air. You literally can't breathe. I've seen numerous fake hospitals posting they're overrun in New York and people going to the same hospitals, and it's literally nothing. And so calm, yet news is saying it's total chaos. Yep, it's crazy. The hospitals are empty, and they're posting fakes. I don't know if they're hiring actors and posting fake scenes or what. I heard the indigenous people are trying to escape into the Amazon. I was reading a news article the other day about how a certain politician wanted to like modernize the indigenous people of the planet, basically imprison them into our new slave world. Why would they do that at hospital? Because they're creating hysteria to keep up the fakeness. If people just step outside, they realize it's all bullshit. If people step outside, they will realize it's all bullshit. If they keep people cooped up on the controlled media sources, they're going to win. People are going to stay in panic and fear and never listen to their agenda. Audio only baby monitors, are they also high EMF? Yes. I mean, look, I'm hoping to. My goal was, I was hoping to save up enough money with my businesses to move out to a farm somewhere and start doing that. But we'll have to see how things go over the next year or two. Because the supplement business, I don't know if that's ever going to work again. I don't think. Who knows if small businesses are ever going to come back in our lifetime? It's hard to say what they're going to do with the new world. Amazing how people need to pay for fertility treatments when 100 years ago people could have 20 children no problem. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. I think everyone literally has like that grandmother or like great grandmother and they had like 20 kids. You know, like the pictures of the families and they literally have like 20 kids. And it's like, what? They're popping out babies every year and now you can't have one? Sad that most people have to have everything stripped from them and hit rock bottom before they realize they've been had. I'd rather be called crazy than to actually be stupid. I saw some guy out when I was driving back home when I was driving around earlier. I saw just some guy on the street, like just like he looked like he was losing it. You know, he was kind of like nervous and like just walking around. Like I could see a lot of these guys who had jobs that got fired are going to realize. I think some bad shit's going to happen in the next few months. I think some bad shit's going to happen in the next few months from people going crazy and killing people. I went to a hospital I wasn't allowed in. One of the scariest parts about all of this is the millions of healthcare workers keeping their mouths shut like a bunch of selfish pussies that just want to get paid for their job. We know nothing is going on in these hospitals. We know these healthcare workers are lying to us so they can keep their job and keep making money off of their crooked ass system. And they need to lock these people in the hospitals and imprison them like we're getting imprisoned right now. Some of the towers you claimed were 5G in your video are actually 4G. Those were all 5. Dude, all the technology I was looking at was the new 5G. Politicians walking around violating the quarantine that citizens go to jail for violating, closing down small businesses for excessive prices, lowering supply, destroying jobs and families. Yep. And people don't realize they've literally used this Toyota Corolla to destroy small businesses and people's well-being. People will go insane after some time. Doctors are so greedy. Millions of healthcare people are all in on a conspiracy. While we know there's empty hospitals on the hashtag film your hospitals on Twitter, and we know that there's got to be at least millions of healthcare workers, right? So how come no one's coming out about it? Can raw milk be the causes for allergy symptoms disappearing or not? I've been sneezing constantly, but since drinking it, I haven't sneezed once. I mean, you might have been deficient in a nutrient. It's hard to say. The Philippine government announced they're going to shoot anybody that violates the quarantine. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The hospital staff have been sent home. Actors have been put in their place. Wouldn't they say something about that then? support stories. You can literally Google like 5G respiratory issues, and there you can go read 10 studies. I don't have to explain that to you. No, I mean the problem is I can't get everything's at a standstill. I was going to get more supplements made, but now with this Toyota Corolla stuff, I can't get product and I can't get the supplements made, and I don't know when it's going to be back. My cousin is a nurse and gives Ambien to pregnant women, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's lying. Like, I would never trust a healthcare worker with anything. These people literally kill people for money. Once people start being blasted by 5 grams, everyone will realize, and they will start destroying the towers. But you don't understand why would people realize it's the towers when they've been telling people there's a Toyota Corolla going on? How are people suddenly going to realize it's the towers when people don't even care that they're putting the towers up right now? Why do you think people are going to realize the towers and take them down? Have you seen the weird stuff about Ellen, the famous host, about her video? She's posting some weird things on Instagram. There's a theory that all of these high-profile celebrities are getting arrested for abusing children and crimes against humanity. And what the videos Ellen is doing is symbolism to warn her other celebrities about what's happening. This is going to last all year, people? Yeah, I hope not, but it seems like they might make it last a long time. So there are people not dying on cruise ships being quarantined. No one died in those nursing homes. Well, that's... Do you agree that doctors keep people sick to make money? I mean, if you guys didn't watch my mother's video about her hospital story, they probably tried to kill her about 10 times in the hospital. And then even firsthand, when my parents brought my sister to the hospital because she vomited after eating a bag of potato chips and drinking a cup of Coca-Cola after being on a diet for a while. It was ridiculous. Like, they literally had my... This is what hospitals do. I never told this story on my channel. I probably should. One time, I might have said it in a live stream once or twice. So I was working in Manhattan bartending, and I came home, and my parents left me a message on my phone that my sister was in the hospital, and I went over to the hospital, and apparently she went to a party with her day program, and she was on a diet, but she cheated on the diet. She probably ate like a pig. She probably ate like a bag of potato chips and like drank like 5 cups of soda or something. And she basically started projectile vomiting all over the street. And my parents' knee-jerk reaction took her to the hospital. Now, in the hospital, they gave her this medication that caused her to get bloated. And then they said, oh, we need to intubate her. They put a tube down her throat to drain her stomach. And they did all this stuff. And I'm 100% sure they would have turned my sister into a vegetable. And my parents didn't have guardianship over her, and she's mentally disabled. So we wanted to take her home, and I was like, look, I got my parents to take her home. They were like, all right, let's take her home. She feels okay. She just threw up. She'll be fine. The hospital staff threw me and my parents out of the room, put my sister in a corner, and basically made her stay. And of course my sister's going to agree with whatever the hospitals say. She's mentally disabled. And I think it went on for 2 weeks. My sister was basically stuck in the hospital for 2 weeks. They kept racking up this bill. And they had a tube down her throat to feed her, yet she was eating normally. It's absolutely criminal what these hospitals will do. And despite what my parents saw with my mother's experience, they still let it happen to my sister. And it really is trauma-based mind control, where they will put you in fear and panic that you're going to die, that something bad's going to happen to you. And you need to trust us because we know what's good for you. Doctors tried to kill my nephew when he was born. Yeah, honestly, I think we should do some like World War II style shit where we just line these doctors up and shoot them into trenches, but that would only be in the Frankie boy world. Frank, you're way too smart to buy into the Q mass arrest stuff. Well, I mean, as much as I don't want to buy into that stuff, Nothing, no other theories that have been brought to me make any sense right now. I've been driving around New York City looking at what's going on, and that's the only theory that makes sense to me right now. So unless someone can bring something else to me, I don't know. Just got to the live stream and we're already on the Toyota. We've been on the Toyota the whole live stream, basically. My great-grandfather was always very suspicious of hospitals and said that doctors killed people for money. I guess he was right.
If ruses aren't contagious, why do colds and stomach bugs spread like wildfires in close living quarters like college campuses? Not trying to gaslight, I am genuinely curious to hear your perspective.
There's different types of. You're saying that cold and stomach bugs are VIRUSs, ESs. It's not contagious. It's something that your body creates. It's something that your body creates in a state of toxicity. So if all these close living quarters like college campuses, if a group of specific people are in one environment and they're all eating the same food and they're all under the same radiation exposure, I would expect them all to have the same problem. But for that to happen, people would have to be eating the same food and breathing the same air and living in the same space consistently over time. Of course, if people are living in the same quarters and under the same lifestyle conditions, they're likely to get similar illnesses. What's your opinion on the decrease in testosterone and sperm counts of men in developed countries? It's because people are keeping cell phones in their pockets. I got 2 VACCINES every week for 2 years. Straight from my seasonal allergies, nearly died 4 times. I think the real reason for this false flag is the economy needed to crash for the excessive bubbles. They're using this to bail out Federal Reserve to keep us enslaved in debt while passing bad laws. Doctors are mostly shit, evil people hiding behind an innocent white coat. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. A doctor saved my mom's life when she lost most of her blood after my birth. I don't want to believe they're all evil people. It's kind of a double-edged sword. If the modern medical system didn't exist, we wouldn't really have problems that need doctors. And doctors 100, 150 years ago were actually good people. Are there doctors that save lives now? I mean, obviously, if you get shot, and a doctor saves your life, that's one thing. But a lot of the time, and in a lot of scenarios, doctors are causing issues in the first place, and they're being dishonest. Are there good doctors and are there bad doctors? Certainly, but the point is, even if there's just one bad doctor that's doing stuff like that, it's hard to give the rest of them credit. And if they have an incentive to make money, how many of these doctors that perform elective surgeries have done surgeries to people that don't need it? Michael Flynn changed his Twitter background to a picture of an eagle fighting a coyote. He has Twitter. Well, he hasn't tweeted in years, but you're saying he changed his background? Well, what is the coyote represents them, and the eagle represents the other group? Even with trauma care, there's far more harm than good being committed by the medical system. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to try to argue that, yeah, I mean, of course, I think everyone's in agreement that some doctors are good, but the vast majority of doctors are not good. I worked for a radiation oncologist. He eventually told me he felt like a criminal because he was required to recommend $60,000 treatments via protocol when he knew the patient would not live past 3 months. Yeah, it's all about making money. It's ridiculous. Like, they've closed down every business besides the big ones. Like, all the small businesses are closed, all the restaurants are closed, but you can go to like Walmart, shop on Amazon, McDonald's, all that stuff is still open. All slow conditioning, social engineering, and programming. Dumb fucks accepting this. Part of you wants to say, yeah, like, why not just let these fucking idiots get thrown into their apartment coffins and get blasted with 5G all day? I mean, someone was talking about how David Icke is a controlled opposition shill, and someone that popular is Q is a psyop. He said chemtrails are now beneficial, and 5G is neutralized by Kofif. Bullcrap to the core. Yeah, no, it's definitely bullcrap. But the question is, what is actually going on? In the UK, McDonald's is closed. Covering my router in aluminum foil reduce EMF in your apartment. You can turn the Wi-Fi off on the router via the controls. Money and pass horrible laws and use COVID as an excuse. Yeah. Doctors will purposely harm babies so that they could have an excuse to intubate them for months and poke them with needles. Rack up a big-ass hospital bill. I got an unneeded x-ray for my chest, and now I'm having supply issues with my milk. Didn't have it with my first. I think it's because of the x-ray I had last year. I vomited right after I had it. Yeah, you got exposed to a high level of radiation. You probably want to avoid all Wi-Fi whatsoever. Don't use your cell phone for a long period of time. Is the internet blackout still happening? They said it was happening. I mean, what they were saying, it was supposed to happen already. I was looking forward to getting a break from YouTube, but not yet. But regardless of whether you believe in that psyop or not, like, they're putting the overarching thing against that is they're putting up massive amounts of Wi-Fi towers. You know, they're putting up Wi-Fi towers like crazy. I mean, we'll have an answer, you know, a couple weeks from now. But if they push this past April, people are starting. I mean, I don't even know how they can keep us locked up for another month, but it's getting crazy. It won't happen until people go crazy. Don't doctors cut umbilical cords so the nutrients in blood doesn't all get delivered to the baby instead of leaving and waiting it to fall off naturally? I mean, to me, that's one of the most obvious things. Like, why wouldn't you let the placenta stay attached to the baby until it naturally falls off? To me, it's kind of crazy. Last time I got sick, probably a couple years ago. Q's main message is trust the plan and do nothing. I mean, the thing is, in a week or two, if things don't start looking positive, then people are going to start doing something. AI is already live. They're setting up their weapons now. How will the elites keep from the 5-gram shit? That will be the secret. They're all probably living in a bunker in New Zealand. Netflix and free porn and no one complains. But this is what they're going to do. They're going to take away more and more. People are going to be happy living in their homes, not working, watching TV and doing nothing all day? Seriously? How long is that going to fly? And then what, are they going to try to push it further? I don't really want to think about what's going to happen, but they won't shut off the whole internet, just social media. They'll keep important stuff up. Martial law for what? Nothing's happening. I don't get it. Like, it's like you're telling people, like, what's a good analogy for this? Like, don't go outside. The air is, don't go outside. The floor is lava. And you go outside and the floor is not lava. Like most people aren't even fucking looking. As long as we can jerk off, we'll be content. Dude, the thirsty girls on Twitter and Snapchat are not, dude. It's ridiculous. Like all these girls that are thirsty on all these social media, it shows how many times a week they've been getting dicked down by Tarzan. Like these girls are like, "Oh my god, I need to suck a penis right now." Literally, that's what they're saying. And it goes to show, okay, well, if these girls can't last a week in quarantine, what the fuck were they doing before the quarantine? People have mortgages and bills, they want to work. Hi, I'm from New Zealand. Need a bunker and $1 billion. I think the New Zealand stuff is creepy because the prime minister took away all the guns of the New Zealand people, and New Zealand is where all the elites have their bunkers and stuff. So now you have a country that has no guns with a bunch of elite people that are probably being protected by military and guns in a bunch of bunkers. E-girls make money. Yeah. It's the easy way out. But they're not, I haven't met any intelligent woman, unfortunately. Well, I mean, obviously the deaths from the Wi-Fi are going to be covered up by something. It's just a question if people are going to wake up and realize it or not. E-girls are making bank from OnlyFans. Dude, I was on dude, everyone's stuck at home. These online girls must be raking in the dough. It must be crazy. This is soft martial law. Well, this is martial law. It's just they don't have to enact it. It's basically, they basically willingly put us into martial law under the guise of a fake disease. If she uses social media, she's taken at least 100 TBH. Me and my 2 siblings all work in different hospitals. All of them are empty. I've seen 4 patients so far. I started 3 days ago as a security guard. OnlyFans is the only income for now. Almost all of them are brain dead. No, they're absolutely brain dead. What's brain dead about them is they have OnlyFans and they're making all the money they could ever need. And the one thought in their head is still to fuck Tarzan. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you would think these women would use the money towards their goals or hobbies or something productive. Girls live on just exist mode. OnlyFans and premium Snapchat or banking. I can't say I haven't participated in the premium Snapchats of New York City girls, but they are crafty with their marketing, I must say. It's like these girls will these girls will DM you on Instagram, and they'll get into a conversation with you, and like 10 messages into the conversation, they'll be like, "Oh, message me on Snapchat," and then they'll send you like a half naked picture that's censored out, and they're like, "Oh, only $15." It's fucking these girls they're making money. Frank making OnlyFans. I don't really want to. I mean, I have businesses that are dependent on my public appearance, so I don't think an OnlyFans would be in my best interest. Although the extra money would be. I mean, who knows how much money I would even make? I don't think guys make a lot of money on that stuff. Yeah, I looked up the hashtag Film Your Hospitals yesterday. By doing nothing, we gave it away. We've seen where their way leads through camps and wars through the slaughterhouse. Frank, you're contributing to the degeneracy when you pay for that. The only hobbies women have are their partner's hobbies. Yeah. Now our donations going to premium Snapchats? Are they? Twitch has become OnlyFans at this point with what all the girls on Twitch. They're not even fucking pretty, dude. I could put on a. Oh, you know what was funny? I've never used the Snapchat filters before, dude. They're fucking hysterical. You know the two really funny ones, the female one and the male one. It's like the female one makes your face narrower and gives you makeup, and the male one gives you like a wide jaw and it gives you like facial hair. It's fucking hysterical. We'd pay top dollar. What's the most money you've paid for a girl's Snapchat, Frankie? That was a joke. I've never paid for like pictures or videos. My hospital is pretty full. We had to build outdoor tents to house more people. That's a lie. I'm guarding a locker room with medical supplies for 12 hours. That sounds fun. I've honestly never met a single woman I truly enjoy the company of. I mean, we don't want to make this into like the anti-woman. What is this called? What is the name of that shit? The woman haters. What is it? The only boys. What the hell is it called? It was in a cartoon show. Was it from the Little Rascals? The He-Man Woman Haters Club. What the fuck was it called? Hold on, let me look it up. He-Man Woman. Yeah, that was it. The He-Man Woman Haters Club. That was it. What was that from? Hold on, what was that from? Is that going to be our new channel? I'm going to get demonetized for this.
The meeting is now in order. We all know that the McGillicuddy girls gave a party the other day, and not one of us was invited. Now what do you say if we form a new club and call it the He-Man Woman Haters Club? Now, I think we ought to have a president. Now, the man we elect must be the worst woman hater of us all. So I nominate Alfalfa because he hates women.
He-Man Woman Haters Club. I'd pay for Hitomi's premium Snapchat. Okay, I might pay for that one if she has one. There are 6 Frank Tufanos on Snapchat. That's not good. My Snapchat isn't Frank Tufano though. Is it the Meat Boys Club? That's a different club. Giselle, you might be the exception. When I said that, I was actually thinking about you and how you didn't do that. So I was kind of hoping you weren't listening.
A contribution for your next Snapchat.
Thanks, Trevor. Thank you. Oh, Frank, you won't find a good woman on Snapchat. I mean, that wasn't necessarily my goal. Hitomi looks like a Neanderthal. Frank simps for Hitomi a little bit. The only reason I do that is because if me and Hitomi ever had a YouTube channel together, we would be so famous. I think if any girl was able to tolerate my personality, we would do really well, although it probably wouldn't happen. No, ma'am, from Married with Children. I didn't see that. This is really old. Yeah, no, that stuff is, I don't know what, that's from 1937. Hitomi is more of a samurai warrior. Thoughts on Alex Jones is controlled opposition to my understanding. You don't get on Joe Rogan without being part of the system. You and Hitomi blood flow restriction training live stream. I kind of see the Neanderthal in Hitomi from her side profile. Honestly, like with what's going on right now, I'm thinking about just giving up the weightlifting stuff. If I'm able to, I might give up the weightlifting stuff. It seems like it's not important right now. I mean, if I should probably be spending my time doing other things. Because the point of me doing the weightlifting stuff was I hypothetically I was going to make money in the fitness industry by doing training stuff and blah blah blah. But like gyms are closed, small businesses may never open up again. What the fuck's gonna happen with the world? Like the last thing I'm gonna do is work out. Hitomi does nothing for me. I prefer the weird Russian. Yeah, she's fucking hot. Alexis Ren is better than all of those fools. Yeah, if you like bulimic girls that look like dudes, maybe. You suck. I look like the Witcher with the male Snapchat filter. Hey, don't show any boys in this chat the male Snapchat filter. They might like you. Yet you're building your own home gym. Well, I mean, don't throw all your progress away. Wait a little longer. Cornelia Grimsmo is a Walmart Victoria. I mean, I think they're both really, really pretty. Don't throw all your progress away. Wait a little longer. I'm gonna give it another few months, but yeah, I mean, who knows? What happens if it's like 2 years before this fucking shit dies? Like, who knows how long this is gonna be? When's the last time you had a piece of candy? Oh man, probably 10, 15 years ago. Your weightlifting gets you 33% more donations, you Neanderthal. Well, since I mean, until we get 10,000 subs on this channel, I don't think we have the super chat, right? Seems like all these girls on Reddit that were posting free nudes are suddenly going behind a paywall on OnlyFans. The fake quarantine has women reverting to their natural instincts. No, I think it's funny. I saw that yesterday. There's a crazy amount of women right now that lost their jobs or that need to make money and are really cashing out on Reddit. Do you think 5G will be used to send high amounts of EMF at a single household that target individuals? I mean, they can absolutely do that. If they know where you live, they can do that. But I mean, if I have meters and devices, I look, I test the levels in my house every day. And I'll make a fucking cage of aluminum if I have to. The targeted stuff only works with people that don't know about Wi-Fi. The Russian girl talks like someone scrambled her brains with an ice pick. Did you hear about delauer? He said he has enough of the internet trolls and he might shut down his channel. That seems a little suspicious. How do you eat 3 steaks in one sitting if you have iron overload? Because iron overload isn't actually caused by eating too much iron. Iron overload is caused by not eating enough copper or retinol. These fuckers have been using weapons on people for decades. Yeah, they have. Microwave-based weapons have been used without 5G. No, they can use it without 5G. I think they were using it on me when I went down to the vegan parade. But guys, I think we'll wrap this up in like 10 minutes. I'm happy we got a decent amount of people to I'm happy we got a decent amount of people to join this live stream. We'll probably do a workout live stream on Saturday, so hopefully I can build up a little bit of hype for that one. Can a copper deficiency make it easier to get fatty liver when eating fructose? Definitely. if you have an underlying metal toxicity and you've been following a carnivore diet for a while, if you start consuming carbohydrates or sugar again, you can get fatty liver very quickly. So if you guys have any more questions, let me know. Frankie boy, I used to look up to you for diet tips and now for conspiracy theories. Well, I feel like I build up a base of followers and then YouTube kind of just stopped my channel growth, so I haven't really been exposed to more people. And now instead of just focusing on the same information and growing my channel like other people do, I have to just talk about different things. I mean, that part of the reason I wanted to do the live streams on this new channel is because my other channel was very disorganized from a the perspective of, you know, having too many live streams thrown in between the videos. So now when people go on my other channel, they'll see that only videos that I've like scripted and I've put a lot of effort into filming them. You know, it's weird. My hand sanitizer video was demonetized, and I posted a comment on it that it was demonetized, and now they turned the monetization back on. Like, what the fuck's the deal? Like, just because it's probably still getting censored, it's just they changed the color. These carnivore and vegan chills and fucking cowardly, disgraceful jokes, and you're their superior. You know what's funny? Corn Faker and like Leo Venus are creating this like rivalry bullshit in the midst of this epidemic that's going on. I think that was fucking hysterical. They're like gaslighting people and trying to distract people and not talking about what's actually going on. Deluxe, no, I mean, I suggest if you guys have have questions about nutrition, the quickest resource is the Carnivore Diet Meal Plan that's available for free on my website. If you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get that. That'll kind of go over the nutrient balance. If you want to go a little more in depth, you can get my book or my Carnivore Diet course. That's like $10-20 each. Or you could pay me for a consultation if you want me to explain it to all of you. How come you no longer make videos on the Society of Order? Because I wasn't writing. My friend was writing the scripts for those videos, and he wasn't too happy about the growth of the channel. I mean, I think if we stuck with it, we'd probably have like 5,000-6,000 subscribers right now. But it was just a lot of work on his end to write the scripts, and he wasn't happy with the immediate short-term results. Do you think Ice Age Farmer is fibbing about the food shortages this year and the next 10 years? I usually buy 50 pounds of beans and rice from Walmart, and they haven't been in stock for over 45 days. Well, obviously, you're not going to get beans and rice because everyone bought all the food. Are there food shortages? I can't say that because the resources that Ice Age Farmer has been showing us are fairly limited. And on the other hand, there's been evidence of people withholding food. You know, there's cattle farmers holding on to cattle because they don't want to sell it. So is there a food shortage right now? Maybe certain products didn't have good growing seasons last year. Will there be a food shortage over the next few years because of the Grand Solar Minimum? We'll have to see what happens this year. I don't really know. I think he might be correct, and I think a solution for people is to really, especially in light of what's happened over the past few months, to become self-sufficient and know that you can't rely on the supermarket to get your own food. Not sure if it's all from panic buying or not. That's the thing. By all means, the Toyota Corolla panic buying can cover up food shortages. What's going to answer that question is even if they take us out of, you know, lockdown in the next 2-3 weeks, like people are still going to be panic buying and stocking up on stuff. So we won't know. But if they can't, I would say if they can't stock up all the shelves by like June, July, then there's something going on. If all the food isn't back on the shelves by like July, then there's something going on. Does every vitamin have a synergistic vitamin that is needed to metabolize it? Also, is there a list showing how much of each vitamin is needed to metabolize the corresponding vitamin? A lot of nutrients are synergistic, but it's kind of hard to go over that. Is the housing market going to go down? The housing market has to go down because right now there were a bunch of people, like the Airbnb shit basically collapses. And there are a lot of people subleasing through Airbnb and paying rents. So a lot of people are going to have to break their lease and the rents are going to go down. So, and same with the people that can't pay the mortgage. The people that own the houses, they're going to either have to try to rent it out or sublease, or basically the rental market is going to get flooded first. And then I think like a year or two from now, the housing market's going to start crashing. Can you explain what the grand solar minimum is? Climate operates on a solar cycle, and there's variances in the solar cycles through every few hundred years. And right now we're entering basically an ice age where climate is very variable. Things can be very wet. It basically equates to the natural climate changes that are occurring right now equate to crop losses. When climate's variable, we depend on a certain growing season to grow our food. If there's ice, if the ground is icy or there's too much water or it's flooded, farmers can't plant their crops in certain locations, and then we basically can't grow food. It's never been this cold in my town in April. Why was anyone ask you about the food supply? How do you know that? Because I have a big brain. Will you make any more books? I don't know. I'd like to. I mean, here's the thing, guys. All of these people, these fitness influencers, all these other YouTube personalities, they're special interest funded. They have a large backing behind them. They have large teams of professional editors and illustrators and people to work on their books with them. I mean, in the future, I'd like to do basically do like the book I did was basically what I can do with the tools I have access to now. What I'd like to do in the future is my new book is going to be like a revision of the current book. I'd like to add more stuff about Wi-Fi and critique a few things about the diet here and there, and maybe add some more information and just critique it a little bit. I would say the book is about 80 to 90% of where it needs to be. It's just missing some information on like Wi-Fi and grounding and stuff. And then there's also the illustration. That's the main thing that was missing in the book. I wanted pictures in the book, but there were like 4 illustrators that said they would do pictures for me, and they all bailed. So what are you gonna do? That explains why I'm freezing here in Europe. I don't remember it being so cold this time of year. No, it's not good for the crops. They can't grow food. That's why I was going to make a video soon. Why are they doing this? And I was going to explain there might be food shortages due to the grand solar minimum. And people have to start growing their own food, but how do we do that, Are we live now? How much and where can we buy your book? I have to plug the book more. You can go to frank-stefano.com and you'll see it on Amazon. I found a patent from the German government that shows how they use electronic devices to control people in their houses. Are your farmers markets still open? In New York, no. I think they're all closed. Iron from my hot plate, should I worry? No, like from a cooking source, usually the iron isn't that big of a deal. So guys, we're gonna wrap this up tonight. Thank you guys for joining me on the new channel. Definitely spread the word about the live stream. Saturday, I think I want to do a live workout stream Saturday. just to pull more people to this channel. Although I'd really like to have the live workout content on the other YouTube channel, I'll just have to start doing regular YouTube videos on fitness and stuff. So I'll think of some, maybe I'll think of some fitness videos to film next week for you guys. Although, you know, now is not the best time because people don't have access to a gym. So maybe we could do, maybe I could do like, I don't know if I don't really necessarily have like some secret calisthenics knowledge or stuff because all of my weightlifting knowledge is in bodybuilding. So I'll see if I can think of any fitness video ideas that you guys can do at home right now. Do I stretch? No. But thanks again for joining me, guys. I'll see you guys on Saturday.